Hello everybody, Maximilian Corsia, I mean Bloodfencer. God damn it, I'll never get this to be a consistent intro. Anyway, welcome back to Brothers, Tale of Two Sons. We are approaching some very exciting levels, so let's just dip right into it. So chances are that by now my Castle Crashers video has finally processed. I was uploading it yesterday and I was staring at the processing screen for almost 2 hours and... Oh, alright, no talking here. There's a guy, he's... Oh my god, no, what is he doing?
Colony. Lamont.
Oh no, his house burned down. Let's pray for the dead.
Ria, Sa.
Walila. Haye.
There is actually an achievement for cheering it up, but I don't know how to get... Ooh. What's this? What's this? Oh my god, I didn't see that last time. Aha! Okay, so you can do something over here. The question is, what?
Da.
What is it that you can do? Ah. Alright guys, so... Oh god. I hate these jumping sequences. I hate them. Oh, so much. Ah. Oh, this is rather exciting. Oh, it's a little music box. Oh dang, I never noticed that there's a second body under there. Oh, that's really sad. Okay, so we saved that poor fellow from taking his own life after his family died. I'll hope he'll be alright. Anyway, chances are my Castle Crashers video is finally up after waiting for it to process all this time, and yeah, not really much to say about it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Because me and Screams, she's my friend who's been recording with me. We had a lot of fun just playing the game and fumbling around with it. As Castle Crashers is a very fun game. I tried to be a bit lighter on the commentary today, because as I mentioned before, commentary is more for games like Spelunky. Where I'll be talking about things that are going on in my tiny little head. Well, that are going on in my mind. I was about to say tiny little head, though that would be weird because I don't have a tiny head. Oh yeah, something weird I actually noticed. I was checking out my my previous videos in the video manager. Actually, I was in the video manager because I was looking at Castle Crashers processing, and I noticed that I had the option to monetize almost all of my videos except for the brothers videos. Apparently there's some Finnish or Norwegian media group that claims the rights to all the content for this game. Which is a bit weird to me because I didn't actually think that there was any company that was interested in keeping this game monetized.
Dia, atai.
I mean, it's not really a big issue for me right now because I'm not monetizing my videos. At least not until I am very sure that people enjoy the stuff that I produce and that actually a lot of people want to see the stuff I produce. Mountain goat riding, hells yeah! This is also a fun little sequence where you have to control both brothers at the same time once again. I'm not entirely certain, but I think I can die here. But yeah.
Bishumaru! Bishumaya!
So yeah, it's kind of weird for me to see games like this, like these very obscure indie games, having restrictions about who can monetize the content. Because for one, I didn't think that people would be actually watching their property that strictly, and in most cases, people allow Let's Players because, let's face it, Let's Players help putting a game out there, so to speak. I mean, how many of you guys have even heard of this game before you started watching me?
Tanai, on.
Before you started watching me play this? Probably not a whole lot of you. And the way I see it, when people watch these videos on YouTube, they're not doing it because they want to use the video as a substitute for playing the game themselves. They rather they want to check out what the game is like, or they want to see how a certain person experiences the game that they might have also enjoyed already. Wait. Ah, he's too spoony. Too spoony to move. So this thing produces music. And this actually gets an achievement, but I already got it. It's just really funny to see this guy get up and dance a little jig on his table. All over his fucking blueprints, too. But yeah, the way I see it, Let's Plays don't really take away any money big companies would get otherwise.
Il. Wendahi, Alatia.
Because if anything, they further interest in the game rather than taking away interest by showing people how it's played. Play rock paper scissors with a doctor. He kind of looks like the crazy doctor from Back to the Future. Okay, now this is important. We can see there's this really big castle over there, and then we go down here. Oh wait, where is it? Where is it? Yeah. What the? Ah. Okay, you see, there's actually one of the birds that we saved at the beginning of the game, and the other one is supposed to be there too. And I heard about this. There seems to be a glitch where sometimes one of them doesn't appear, despite you having collected both of them, and this seems to be the case. Now, this next section looks very fun, but it can be kind of weird and terrible to control.
Oh, Nai. Oh. Oh.
The music for this game is also amazing. At least I think it's amazing. Some people actually complained about the music. I was reading a thread about. Well, I wasn't reading a thread. I told you how I had this really weird bug at the beginning where any keyboard input would freeze the game. I checked the forums on that, and there actually was a thread where someone complained about the music when they first heard it in the trailer. This weird, the singing. They really didn't like the singing. Now this part is a lot less dangerous than it looks, because you only have to make it to there. First time I played it, I thought you were about to crash like really imminently, and I actually headed for that little island in between and crashed. So I had to do the whole thing again.
Dia, Atayi.
And now for the most complex jumping puzzle in the entire game. Well, not puzzles, more like section. Jumping section. But it's when you're going to see it, it's going to blow your mind, because it's kind of amazing how they actually thought of this. Because see, what you have to do here is you jump with one brother, and these things are too far apart. You can't actually jump over them. So what you do is you let go of the other, and you use the other brother like a pendulum. And of course, the hard part is remembering which button you have to let go of at that point. Because if you do it wrong, everyone is going to die. I have to admit, I'm a lot better at this. Oh no. Ah, there it goes. A lot better at this than the first time, right? Okay, let's just keep swinging. Whoop. This game is really something else. And this is one of the only sections of the entire game where falling from great heights is a real threat, I believe. Those other sections where I failed a bit at the start, those were dumb little mistakes. That shouldn't be happening unless your hands really cramp up. But here in this place, you need to be very conscious about what you're doing. Because one false move and you either have to start from you either have to go back to the start or you die, and then you have to go back to the start anyway. Also, the developers once again showcase their... No! See, this is what I just said. You have to be very careful about what you do, or else you fail. Ah, come on, little brother. Come on, get at me. So, what I was going to say is... the developers once again showcase their great level design skills. Because just look at this place, it looks absolutely amazing. The tall mountains, the castle itself. Even though it is really ruined, you can still sort of imagine what it must have been like when it was at full glory. I hate this part. I really don't like this part. The statue just dumps apart. Alright. Another jumping bit. Come on, last time this worked. Yes!
Atta!
Alright, you can probably already see what the inside's like, unless this video has very poor quality, in which case I apologize. But on the inside of this tower we have very large furniture, which suggests that the inhabitants of this place, the former inhabitants, weren't exactly human. Now, this is another interesting part, because you've got two separate paths, and the brothers are still connected by that rope. So you kind of have to leave them around both. You have to leave them both around at the same time, so they can progress. Otherwise, they'll just hinder each other. So now we're climbing a set of massive wooden steps. These steps are broken, you can't climb them, so back to the outside we go. I like how they automatically approached those struts. Oh god. I keep falling! Okay. Anyway, after they went through the door, I didn't actually... press any directional. I didn't use the directional sticks to move them in any way. They just automatically approach the wall things. Now they are detaching the rope,
Haita.
and they notice that the bridge is out.
Kai. Yaya, ata.
Bridge is out.
Otto.
But maybe there's something in the tower that can help them. Let's have a look inside. And there's a funny little creature under that cage. And we got this room. There are lit candles everywhere, so this place must still be in use. Because it doesn't... Well, it looks like those candles have been burning for a few hours, but they couldn't have been burning for all that long. Magnifying glass.
Ara. Dahi?
Ara, dahi?
Hey!
Big brother is focused on getting the thing out. Little brother just wants to communicate. Big brother actually has to wait because he can't fit through the things. Spider brother does whatever a spider brother does.
Naya!
Okay, so he's not heavy enough to lift that thing completely. He's really high up, and yet his brother manages to catch his feet. So
Naya!
Big brother can jump really high from standing. And the thing we just freed is some sort of owl griffin. Look at it, he's so cute.
Leila.
Aww.
Ara. Dahi? Da?
He's not in the best of conditions, and yet he offers us a ride. At this time we're flying with something that was actually meant to fly. So no danger of falling down to a terrible death because the paper falls apart. And he dies. He helped us with his last bit of strength. And we still got that feather. So, Big Brother liked to fish with his dad. And if they are not fast enough, he'll never be able to do that again. Brave of a poor bird. He does it as well. And we can actually pick up the little feather that the bird dropped. I am just not entirely sure what to do with it. Ah, you can let it go. And then it flies off. And now we enter the Valley of Giants. You'll see why I'm calling it that. Well, you can already... yeah, you can already see it. Can you imagine how much noise giant people produce when they whack each other with maces? Can you? Well, I can't, but it must be fucking loud. And someone thought it was a great idea to place a bench down here by this dead giant. Yeah, let's look at the carnage of the destruction. Very nice. I might have to flag this video for graphic content. Though I'm not really sure what the guidelines on this are. Okay, so here is something we're going to see a lot in this valley. This guy got an arrow stuck in his arm. Like, just look at where it's stuck. And we're using it as a lever to get his arm out of our way.
Atta!
And that actually happens a couple times down the road. Okay. At least the brothers find it very, very gross to walk through his blood. And this is kind of interesting because it tells us that these giants couldn't have been dead for too long. Because, as you all know, blood becomes... I don't know the English term. I obviously know the German term because I'm a doctor's assistant. That means I have to know about all sorts of blood-related stuff. But blood turns into this clumpy mess after some time, and then becomes hard, and it turns into a crust. And that usually happens really, really quick. Especially with open wounds. So these giants must have killed each other within the last hour. Oh. Did he just jump over that thing?
Yeah.
That one was actually fun because you just throw off the maze and the giant ragdoll gets dragged behind by its sheer weight. A river of blood. It's almost poetic if you think about it. Wading through a river of blood. Okay. So, what do we have here? There's a giant leg. Which we can't get out of the way. Because we're tiny. We're tiny little maggots. And here no, go back, brother. Here we catch our first glimpse of something that is about to come. That area down there, I have to say, it is an absolute masterpiece of designing beauty. Ugh. It's a beautiful masterwork of design. That's what I want to say. Here we got another arrow, but this time it's not stuck in his elbow. And we chop the leg off. At least the brothers agree that this is very, very gross. Very gross. So this depicts some graphic violence, but they're not glorifying it. They're like, oh no, this is gross. We just chopped the dude's leg off. And there's actually going to be one more example of that sort of thinking. And it's coming right up, actually. Vultures feeding off the giant. Over here we got another achievement. The brother is too puny. He cannot do it. This needs a real man. If you blow the horn, you get an achievement. And blowing the horn only works with a big brother. So, you can probably already guess what's going to happen. We got this big crossbow, and we got a giant that's in our way. So...
Da!
So, we cock the arrow. And we fire away! Straight in his head.
Naya Lapa! Falila!
Oh, Nayi! Yeah!
Of course, little brother is very upset about this, because even if it's a dead guy, maybe he was just sleeping, and also it's very disrespectful. The river of blood turns quite thick at this point, and as you can tell, the blood river actually flows through those canals down there in the altar area, and it makes for some really neat design. Would be kind of neat if you could create something like that in Minecraft, but there's obviously some limitations to that, since flowing water in Minecraft only runs down for 7 blocks before it stops. So you would have to make this area kind of... You would have to make it in steps, so that after 7 blocks the water can run down another ledge, and then it will keep running. So, water washes it right off. And now we see what's going on down here. A bunch of strange men and a damsel in distress.
Afi! Hiyasade!
Kivadia?
Takiba! Da!
There must be something we can do to save this woman, and thankfully the key to her safety is already within our hands. Want a spoiler? We are the key. The brothers are the key to saving her. So you got this weird little picture here. Wait a second, actually. No, there's nothing of it. So you got that picture there. It's all drenched in blood, and you got these two canals. So what you do is you get all bloody again.
阿姨，大红。
Combo attack! This is actually really ridiculous how this works. So by bathing in that blood and taking a position like this, we have become the embodiment of their gods. And as you can see, the altar also looks like two people standing on top of each other. And now we save the cheerleaders, save the world. Immediately they realize that it's just a ruse and they don't... Oh. And they come to follow us. And that was the end of that stage. Well, I call it a stage, but actually it's a chapter. That's the end of that chapter, and I'll see you all next Wednesday.